Some fight scenes in cinema stay with us, not just because of their choreography or intensity, but because of the deeper themes they represent. The showdown between Achilles and Hector in Troy is one such fighted duel that carries the weight of personal loss, honor, and destiny. Every frame, every movement, and every line of dialogue works in perfect harmony to elevate this battle into something truly unforgettable. By the time this duel takes place, the Trojan War has already been raging, but this moment isn't about armies or strategies, it's about personal vengeance. Achilles, the greatest warrior of the Greeks, has just suffered a devastating loss. His beloved cousin Patroclus, who had taken up his armor and fought in his place, has been slain by Hector, the noble prince of Troy. Though Hector did not intend to kill Patroclus, he believed he was fighting Achilles himself. It doesn't matter. Achilles, blinded by rage, seeks revenge. Hector, by contrast, knows he is facing death. He is not fighting for glory or vengeance, but out of a sense of duty. He has accepted his fate and walks out to meet Achilles in what he knows will likely be his final battle. These two warriors, though both legendary in their own right, could not be more different. Achilles fights for personal pride and eternal fame, while Hector fights to protect his home and family. This clash of ideals makes the fight all the more compelling. The scene begins with the grand gates of Troy slowly creaking open. As Hector steps forward, the camera pushes in on his face, allowing us to fully absorb his emotions. There's no turning back now. The framing here is key. It isolates Hector, making him feel small in comparison to the monumental task ahead. We then cut to a wide shot from Hector's perspective, looking at Achilles, who stands alone in the open field, waiting. This is a brilliant visual choice. The emptiness of the battlefield enhances Achilles' presence, making him seem larger than life. The audience can feel the weight of the moment. Hector is not just facing a warrior, but a force of nature. As Hector descends the steps, the two men lock eyes. There's no background noise, no distractions. The world has faded away, leaving only them. The tension is palpable. Before the fight begins, Hector tries to uphold the warrior's code. He asks Achilles to promise that the victor will allow the loser to receive proper funeral rites. But Achilles, seething with rage, refuses. This single line encapsulates Achilles' mindset. To him, this is not an honorable duel, it is an execution. His rejection of Hector's plea only heightens the sense of doom. Unlike Hector, who clings to honor and respect, Achilles has become something more ruthless, almost godlike in his detachment. From the very first movement, the contrast between the two warriors is evident. Achilles fights with an effortless, almost supernatural grace. His movements are precise, efficient, and overwhelmingly fast. He doesn't waste energy every step. Every strike is calculated. It's as if he's not just fighting Hector, but toying with him, asserting his dominance with every motion. Hector, on the other hand, fights with desperation. He is an exceptional warrior in his own right, but next to Achilles seems almost ordinary. His attacks are more defensive, his footwork less fluid. He is fighting not just for his life, but for a miracle. One of the most striking moments in the fight comes when Achilles raises his shield high above his head, positioning it along the vertical axis of his body. This is an unusual stance in most cinematic sword fights, but here it serves a clear purpose. It allows him to strike in a full 180-degree arc, giving him even greater control over the battle. It's subtle details like this that reinforce his tactical superiority. Achilles' dominance is further emphasized through cinematography. Most of the fight is filmed with a static, steady camera, allowing us to clearly see the action. This lack of shaky cam adds to the mythic quality of Achilles in complete control, and the camera reflects that. The only time movement becomes erratic is when Hector manages to land a significant blow, briefly unsettling the balance. At one point in the duel, Hector manages to cut through Achilles' armor, leaving a small wound. Achilles freezes for just a fraction of a second, shocked that someone has even come this close to wounding him. It's a brief but powerful moment, one that reminds us that while he may seem invincible, he is still mortal. But this moment of hope for Hector is fleeting. Achilles quickly regains his composure, adapting to the situation with terrifying efficiency. He begins to exploit Hector's weaknesses, forcing him into a pattern of mistakes. The fight, which at first seemed like an honorable duel, now feels more like a slow, inevitable execution. The final strike is preceded by a breathtaking wide shot, one of the only extreme wide shots in the entire fight. This choice is deliberate. It gives the audience a moment to breathe, a second to prepare for what is coming. It's a cinematic pause, like the calm before a storm. Achilles delivers the killing blow with a dramatic, theatrical precision, driving his sword deep into Hector's body. The moment is brutal yet poetic. Hector, ever the noble warrior, accepts his fate with dignity, collapsing onto his knees. But Achilles is not done. He stands over Hector's lifeless body, his anger not yet satisfied. He ties Hector's corpse to the back of his chariot and drags it away, humiliating his fallen enemy in front of the Trojans. This final act solidifies the difference between them. Hector dies a hero, while Achilles, for all his skill and glory, loses a piece of his own humanity. The Achilles V's. Hector duel isn't just a great action sequence, it's storytelling in motion. It's a battle of ideals, of contrasting philosophies. Hector represents duty, honor, and sacrifice, while Achilles embodies vengeance, pride, and an unrelenting pursuit of glory. The way the fight is filmed reinforces these themes. The controlled cinematography mirrors Achilles' calculated dominance, while the brief shaky moments reflect Hector's struggle. The dialogue before the fight foreshadows its brutal outcome, and the final wide shot serves as a silent requiem for Hector's tragic fate. But perhaps the most powerful aspect of this duel is its emotional weight. This isn't a fight for land or power, it's personal. Achilles fights for vengeance, Hector fights for survival, and in the end, neither truly wins. Achilles may have claimed victory, but in doing so, he descends further into rage and emptiness, setting the stage for his own eventual downfall. This is what makes the fight so timeless. It's not just a duel, it's a clash of destiny, character, and fate, played out in one of the most visually stunning and emotionally charged battles in cinematic history. The fight between Achilles and Hector is more than just a pivotal moment in Troy. It is a masterclass in cinematic storytelling, character development, and visual symbolism. Every movement, every camera angle, and every line of dialogue serves a purpose, reinforcing the themes of fate, honor, and the fleeting nature of vengeance. It is a duel that doesn't just showcase physical combat, but a clash of ideals. Achilles, the relentless warrior seeking immortality through glory, and Hector, the noble protector fighting for his people. What makes this scene so unforgettable is how it blends raw, grounded action with mythic grandeur, allowing us to feel both the weight of history and the emotional stakes of the moment. Hector's death is not just the loss of a great warrior, but the beginning of the end for Troy itself. Achilles may walk away victorious, but his triumph is bittersweet, marking the path toward his own inevitable downfall. This duel is a testament to the power of storytelling in film, how action can speak louder than words, and how a single battle can encapsulate the rise and fall of heroes. It lingers in our minds long after the credits roll. But what do you think? Does this fight still hold up as one of the greatest duels in cinema? Did the choreography and storytelling leave an impact on you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.